Yo, what is good, guys? How's it going, everyone? How is everyone doing? Let's get it. Who's ready to make some money? Good morning, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day so far. Hope you're having a good week so far. And I hope you're enjoying these streams. Let's get it, guys. Let's run it up. Make some money. We're 1 for 1 today. We took one trade today. It was kind of like my own trade. I'll walk you through that in just a second. But yeah, lots of people have been making money in the fast track trading Discord. How is everyone doing? Good morning, guys. Let's get it. Ready to start the day with the fundamentals. Then we move to the technicals. And yeah, we'll see how the mock outlook for gold has played out as well. I hope you've been enjoying that. That the first one was released last night. If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts. Hi Scott, how's it going? Hi Adam, hope you're doing well. Let's get some W's in the chat, guys. Let's get some money in our banks. Let's get it, guys. Come on. We're going to start off with the fundamentals, and then we're going to make our way to the technicals. Look at GJ, look at Bitcoin, look at gold. And yeah, on Bitcoin, there's going to be a lot of accumulated liquidity cycling through to all the lower type of coins like Ethereum, then Solana, all the way down to the meme coin cycle. So, hi Adil, hi Big Deeds, let's get it. Good afternoon, Dan, how's it going? But yeah, guys, let's jump straight into it. Like the stream if you're ready to start. As always, we're going to start with the fundamentals, see what's going on there, see what we've had, see if there's anything to look out for. Then we'll get started with the technicals. So, today is obviously Tuesday, the 17th of December. So, we're looking at that right now. You can see we have 7 a.m. GBP news. 1:30 as well. We had the round of Canadian and USD, and that's all for today. It's a pretty good day fundamentally. It's not too much really. We got CPI, but it's Canadian. We've had the London news. Like, this is a good amount of news. Yesterday was a bit bad because we had a battering of news at 8 o'clock and then nothing at 1:30. Whereas today, we have the London news, pre-London news, pre-New York news as well, just to ramp up that volume, ramp up that liquidity, and ramp up the volatility as well. But yeah, guys, let's see how we got on. Thanks, Deeds. Thank you, Deeds. I appreciate it. Fresh trim. Just in time for Christmas. I'm trying to grow my fringe back a little bit, but, it's been a while. I used to have hair all the way down to here, like down to my shoulders. But just before I started doing all this, I shaved it off. Now I'm trying to get my fringe back a little bit. If I press it down, look at that. But, yeah, guys, let's get straight into it. So we've had 7 a.m. London news, 1:30 New York news. Now, what's going on the technicals today on GJ? So we're going to start off on the daily time frame. I'm going to tell you what I've seen yesterday and how it's played out since then. So yesterday we were looking at this daily fair value gap, weren't we, guys? We were looking specifically inside the fair value gap as well. We were looking at the premium zone, which is the top half of the fair value gap. That's exactly what we were looking at yesterday, wasn't it? Now, you can see we've come into that, reversed, and bounced off of it. But if we go to the 4-hour time frame, I want to show you something a little bit more specific. We've seen a 4-hour unmitigated imbalance over here, which we've now drawn out. You can see we came all the way to the premium zone of that 4-hour imbalance, which was inside the premium zone of the daily imbalance. And then we started to reverse down. What did we do here? So we took out this high to the left-hand side. I've left that marked so you can see it. How's it going, Magic City Trader? But you can see that there. We came up, bounced off the daily, and formed a fair value gap right here, which it looks like we've inversed. We may head bullish off of that. Now, I did take a buy today, and I'm going to walk you through that very, very quickly in a minute. But the overall bias for this is looking extremely bearish, especially down to the bottom of this fair value gap right here. So we've come into the 4-hour, we've come into the daily imbalance, into the premium zone of both of those things, reversed off of them, inversed a 4-hour after taking a high. So what do we do after that, guys? We near enough always come down to this, unless there's an unmitigated imbalance in between our entry and our exit. So if we were to trade 4-hour fair value gaps, we would look at this imbalance right here that's been inversed, take our sell, how stops, whatever, we'd look to target here. But in between our entry and our exits, there's an unmitigated imbalance right here. So we could bounce up off of that and be bullish. But overall, the bias is looking bearish, targeting these lows. Now, let's zoom in a little tiny bit. We can get rid of this. We don't need that. We don't really need that 4-hour one over here either. Now, you can see we are pushing down quite heavily already at the open of New York. But I want to go to the 1 hour very quickly and show you something. So we came down to this low over here, which was also this imbalance right here, after taking out this low right here. So we took 2 lows out, then reversed and headed straight back up. We came up back to this 15-minute imbalance, reversed and headed down. If we go to the 15-minute time frame, you can see that trade is exactly what I caught. I caught when basically price took out this 15-minute low over here, as you can see, then reversed, and then on the 5-minute, we formed an IFVG right here, as you can see. We formed a fair value gap, took out that liquidity, then inversed it very, very quickly. So I moved, I entered right here. Then obviously as we pushed up, I managed the trade and so on and so forth. But that's the trade that I took today. So we are currently 1 for 1. I haven't journaled it though. I'm not too sure if I should because it's the live stream journal, which I'm just going to open right now. So I think I'm just going to leave it out. Like, it's a winning trade, but I don't know if I should put it in the live stream journal because it's, you know, specifically for live stream trades. Now, let's see how this played out. So we had this move straight back up to this 15-minute imbalance. So we took ERL on the 15, which was this over here. Then we came to 15-minute IRL, respected it. So we came back down to form new lows. So it looks like we're going to take out this low over here before we do anything. We could look for price to reverse or show signs of, you know, a pause and then catch a move down, catch the continuation. But we'll have to see how that goes. Now, I caught that move up. I caught that move up from ERL to IRL paired with a 5-minute AMD cycle paired with a 5-minute IFVG, which was the manipulation move down. As I said, the best IFVG setups will come when we accumulate before the IFVG is formed. The best AMD trades will form when we have an IFVG formed in the manipulation phase. But now we've done that, we don't really need to look at any of this. We got that daily fair value gap, which we respect, and we got that 4 hour, which we've inversed. We've got a very strong bearish bias at the moment, guys, okay? So we do really want to be prioritizing sales on GJ at the moment, and you can see how that's played out the past hour. We've just been moving down after a pause. Now, let's look at the 5-minute time frame, see what's going on over here. You can see we haven't really got any structure at the moment. We want to kind of pause, and as I said, the best structure for an IFVG setup comes after we accumulate. So what I'd look for here is some form of, like, after we take out this liquidity, some form of like speed bump price action where we just kind of slow down. Like, we don't necessarily reverse, but we just kind of slow down a lot, kind of like this, and then we could form an IFVG like this, take our entry, and then trade that continuation. But as well, we are inside of that fair value gap, so it's a little bit messy here because if we inverse this, then obviously we're very strongly bearish. But now I think if we're going to take buys, it would be around here, the best place to take them. But I think we're going to target this low first before we do anything like that. And once we do that, we can look for an IFVG to form if we really want to. Like, let's say on the 1 minute we push all the way down and then form an IFVG like here. We could take that move back up to this high over here, back up to this one even. And that would make perfect sense. I don't really trade the 1 minute much though, so I'd like to see it on the 5-minute form, and that would be a much stronger confirmation and a much easier trade to take for me. It'll fit my plan more, but we could always take it. Let's see how it goes. I think we are going to target liquidity first before we do anything, guys. So we're going to wait for that low to be taken out before we look at any positions, which gives us a perfect cue to move on to the next thing. Let's move on to Bitcoin. So GJ has a bearish bias. We're looking to take out that liquidity, and then we can look for trades from there. Before we do move on, I'm going to just put an alert in. Where is it? I think we just took it now, actually. About to take it. Gonna put an alert in just below this low. Now we're gonna move on to the daily time frame, okay, guys, on Bitcoin. So on Bitcoin, same routine as yesterday, really. What's been going on this? So yesterday, I think I was saying we are due a reversal, but we may not get it yet because we needed to form the imbalance. So now we can see we have formed the imbalance. So now would be the perfect time to start reversing. As you can see, we took out this high. We didn't form the imbalance yet. So I was saying this candle probably won't push straight down. Probably consolidate or continue. We pushed up, kind of cooled down a little bit. We're inside that daily candle range still at the moment. Maybe we're probably going to reverse soon. Come back down to this imbalance right here. And why would we do that, guys? Because we go from ERL as I've said, you know, I'm not going to talk much about this anymore. But we go from ARL, which is this high, to IRL, which is this imbalance right here. So we go from highs to and then we retrace to the imbalance, and either continue off of that or reverse and head down. It's literally as simple as that. Now that's out the way. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin very quickly. You can see we took the high out right here, then reversed back into this imbalance. Didn't really come into the discount zone, but we pushed straight up off of it. So I think if we're going to take, I think the bias is bearish on Bitcoin. We have an equal high right here, so we could even look for buys to target this liquidity and then look for sells. Either we're going to catch that move up or we're going to catch the move down. It's one of those two things. I think we're going to use this imbalance as a target for that. You can see the AMD played out on the 1-hour time frame right here with that accumulation, manipulation, and distribution to the upside. But let's just jump to the 15-minute time frame and see what's going on here. So on the 15-minute, we have almost just come straight back up to that. After taking this high, we've come to this imbalance and this imbalance, respected both of those things. So I do think we'll push up on the 5-minute time frame. What does it look like? We've took those lows out, respected this imbalance. So we could look at just taking a buy, a very quick buy up to here with stops down here, but the R is a little bit low, too low for me. You could take this if you want. It's a very high probability trade. Now, what I'd want to see, you see how we're getting the speed bump price action, guys? This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of like up, retrace, up, retrace, up, retrace, but there's not too much going on. We're not going up too high. So what I'd like to see now is price push up, form a bullish fair value gap in this move up, then inverse it. You know, then we have that accumulation here, manipulation and distribution on the 5-minute. And we take that sell all the way down to here. Just like that, guys. So that is what I want to see. That is what I'd want to see. And it looks like we might be pushing up to take that high out right now, which is perfect. That's step 1 of this setup. We're going to leave this, see how it plays out. I'm going to set an alert again, around about up here. Just wait for that to get pinged. Now, moving on to gold, which I did the first market outlook for gold yesterday, guys. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it after this stream. Let me know your thoughts. I did say we would be bullish. I'm going to show you why that changes. Bias can change very quickly, guys. You need to learn this analysis so you can keep that up. But let's just load that, right? Okay. So we're in the journal now. But on the daily, we're still kind of doing the same thing. Until we close outside this daily fair value gap, which is right here, we are still looking for buys, okay? If we close outside this in 7 hours and 15 minutes, we will then obviously start looking for sells to take out this low over here, which is what I've shown you on the market outlook. And it looks like we might be pushing outside of that range. But if we move to the 4-hour time frame, I'm sure it'll make it a little bit more sense. Now, on the 4-hour, you can see we have just took out a low to the left-hand side and bounced up off of that. So now would be the perfect place to look for buys on gold. We took out this low, we took out this low, and we would expect price to retrace back to an imbalance, which is this one right here. Okay, so the bias is still bullish on gold. Until we close outside that range, we are still looking for buys. The 4-hour aligns with that concept as well. Now moving on to the 1-hour time frame, you can see we have just took out the low on the 1 hour, which is also this low, obviously. So we'd be looking to retrace, do the exact same thing. We're looking for those buys on this. Now on the 5-minute, we don't have any. We do kind of have an IFVG formed right here, which aligns with our bias. If I just let me just draw that out for you. So we'd want this fair value gap right here. We did it in 6 candles. You could look at taking an entry right here, guys, especially if we show signs we're going to respect this imbalance right here. That's the 15-minute with no top wick as well. So we could look at taking buys on gold right now. Although there is that imbalance right there on the 5, which we have respected. But I like how the 15 hasn't got a top wick here, guys. I like how that doesn't have a top wick. So we could look at taking a buy position right now on gold if it looks like we're going to respect this imbalance. It doesn't really look like that yet. We've got that 1 minute, 1, 2. Let's see if we inverse that, which we got 1 second left. Okay, so we haven't yet. We need to come up and make that top wick on gold. Let's see what the structure. Let's do a quick recap of the structure here, guys. So we've got the 5 minute saying buy. We've got the 15 minute saying push up as well. We've got the 1 hour saying push up. We've got the 4 hour saying push up as well. We need to retrace back to IRL. We got the daily saying bullish bias until we close outside this range. We've just taken liquidity here. Just a bit lower than that. Right here. So buys would make perfect sense. Is this a... Okay. What we're going to do is, we've got a nice little fair value gap here on the 1 minute. If we inverse this, we're going to take the entry. So we're looking at something along these lines. All we need now, really, guys, is gold to inverse this fair value gap on the 1 minute time frame. If we inverse it, we're going to take the entry. If we don't, then obviously we won't take the entry. If I do get in, we've got 40 seconds left. Looks like we are pushing outside of it. If I do get in, my TP will be 2647.791. And my stop loss will be just below this low. 2632473. 263247. Okay. If we invert this fair value gap, we want to do it like in this candle, really. The quicker we do it, the higher probability this trade will have. But once we inverse this 1 minute fair value gap, I'm going to take my entry. I want to do it. Oh, there we go. There we go, guys. I'm in. Right. Let's go back to the 5. And there we are. It looks like we are respecting that 5 minute fair value gap as well. We've got that 5 minute IFVG formed right here, where we're going to manage this trade. So we're going to manage the trade when we get to this high over here. This is where we're going to look to adjust our stop loss to just below this imbalance right here. As we push up, as we form imbalances on the way up, I'm looking to take my stop loss to break even. And this is my TP target. The TP is this high over here. And also this imbalance right over here. I've risked 0.5%. If you haven't seen my announcement on that, I basically told everyone to risk 0.5% per trade, every single trade, this entire week. So we're up like just over 0.5%. We're risking 0.5% here. Because the price action, even it's December, we can have great price action like this. We can have a great setup that fits the plan. But we can still lose the trade just due to the volatility and just December being December. But yeah, I'm looking to come into this imbalance over here on the 1 hour time frame, I think that is. Or the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, looking to come into a 4 hour fair value gap after sweeping a 4 hour low, a 1 hour low as well. Obviously, it's all the same thing. But yeah, we have, I think we do have, no we don't. So we're going to leave that trade, we're going to let that play out, see how that plays out, see how it works. I think we've got a nice chance, especially if this closes respecting it. We're going to move our stops at some point to this imbalance here when we get this high probably. And then as we continue up, we'll form imbalances, I'm sure, which will then adjust our stop loss to break even. Let the trade play out, hoping for a full TP over here. And now I would usually target this right here a little bit more, but we just got a high right here. So I think best bet is we're going to tap this imbalance at some point, but we've also got a high. So I'm looking to take out this high and the imbalance. How long have I been trading this strategy? So I've been trading for 3 years. I've been trading AMD and IFVGs for like just over 2 years now. Yeah, I started teaching people and, doing this kind of thing, trading live in February of this year. So like 10 months now. But yeah, see how this trade goes, guys. Alert on Bitcoin. We're going to move over to Bitcoin now. I'm going to add some alerts in just before we do that onto onto this here so we can move to break even, and obviously in case we don't miss, in case we miss it, sorry, get a full TP hit there. Let's move to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is crossing that level. Okay, now here's where it gets good, guys, because we do have that stable price action apart from this push up here. It looks like we may be forming a bullish fair value gap right here. Hopefully we can kind of chill a little bit now. You know, I don't want to push up too high. We've reversed that fair value gap, form that IFVG. What we'll do is, because we have an unmitigated fair value gap right here, we could either use that as a take profit zone or use it as a management spot, looking to take profit at this low of this candle over here. But we're going to take profit one of those two places there, guys. So just got to wait. We've got, what, 3 minutes left on that? Gold still pushing down. I think if we inverse this fair value gap, I'm probably going to get out the trade, because then it's obviously a bearish confluence. So we're going to see how this trade plays out, guys. Right, I'm looking for Bitcoin to kind of chill a little bit here, not push up too high. Now what's GJ saying? GJ still hasn't swept the low. It's trapping those retail guys. We got that IFVG formed, as you can see right here. It's not really a big one, and also, you know, we haven't took liquidity yet, so. Right, let's see how this trade goes. I do have a premium group. It is one of the links in the description. It's called Fast Track Trading. It's $300 for lifetime access. Right, so we've just invalidated that imbalance, but we can use this one still. And if we do inverse this one very quickly, this will be a higher confluence trade because we won't have any unmitigated fair value gaps in between it. Let's see what gold's doing. Gold looks like it's trying to push down, you know. Not looking the best at all. If this 5 minute closes like this, I'm going to get out this trade, guys, simply just because we have that IFVG against us there. I thought this would have been a good setup. It was a textbook setup, to be honest with you. Can't win them all. Let's see how this goes. 1.5 minutes left on the open, on the 5. All right. Bitcoin. Validated that and then bounced off of it. If we're going to trade Bitcoin, we're going to look to come down, inverse this low right here, and then take a sell, targeting this low right here. The lifetime access to the mentorship is $300. Get lifetime access. That's going to be changing soon, guys, as well. Price is going to be changing soon for the new year, because I'm going to be adding a bunch more value to that as well. We're going to be doing, I think they're called accountability calls, where we all check each other's losses and stuff like that. We're going to be doing pre-New York streams as well. So half an hour before I go live on here, we will be going live in the premium group as well. There's live lectures, there's monthly webinars as well. We're starting those soon. There's a bunch of new features coming to Fast Track Trading soon, and the price of that is going to change as well. But yeah, it's $300. Right, let's see what gold's doing. Gold is trying to push down. If this closes like this, yeah, I'm going to get out now, guys. Very, very small loss here. Very small loss. We're going to look at taking a re-entry. We can take a re-entry on this. The setup still looks good. We've still got to kind of do the same thing. We've still got to come to this 4-hour imbalance because that's just the way ERL and IRL works. Unfortunately, we did lose that trade. Let's just see what it was. So we risked 662 and lost 364. I lost 0.25% here. I think literally just over. I'll tell you how much I made. Lost $155, which is just over 0.25% on that trade. We tried it. We've seen the setup. Didn't work. It's just the way it is this month, guys. This is why I'm telling you to risk 0.5%. You're not going to see regular price action. You know, you're not going to see what you usually see, what you've seen in September, October. It's the last monthly candle of the year. It's going to be harder to trade this. than any other month. It is definitely the hardest month from all the experience I've had. But yeah, let's see if we've avoided a loss here, or if we got out too early, or avoided a bigger loss or got out too early. Let's see it. But Bitcoin, what's going on with this? So Bitcoin, we're looking for this setup still, the exact same thing basically on gold, but it looks like we're trying to push up instead. On GJ, I want to take this liquidity first. I really want to take this liquidity first before we push up. We're not going to get into any trades at the moment. Maybe if we form a bullish fair value gap and inverse it, we could look at taking the entry down to this liquidity, because, you know, we're pretty much going to come to this one now. It's near enough guaranteed. But yeah, let's see how that goes. Bitcoin, looking to inverse this fair value gap. Gold, let's see how this would have played out. I'm going to leave this here. And we need to journal the trade as well, actually, don't we, guys? I'm going to do that very, very quickly. Closed here due to IFEG. Risked 50. Risked 0.5%. Where's it? Where's it gone? Okay, here it is. Risked half. Lost 0. I don't even know what that was. 0.12 something. 0.125. 0.12%, we're just going to call it, guys. Very, very small loss, but unfortunately, it's the way it is with this trade. We tried it, didn't really work. This is why I don't trade December much. This is the first year that I've really traded December at all, and that's because I obviously am doing these live streams and stuff like that. Right, what's going on here? So the bias was what? It was bullish, I think. We took a buy, and the risk to reward ratio was originally 1.4. It was a loss by definition, and we had the IFEG set up here. It was both, but IMD IFEG December. Messy price action. Now we're going to put a link to this chart here. Lost a quarter. Actually, we'll just do this. Lost a 0.25%. Very, very small loss. You can see all these losses here. Like, we've had 3 losses in total since we started doing this, and we've only lost, like, I don't know how much, like, maybe like 0.5% in total. And all of these trades, all these winning trades, near enough 0.5% plus, apart from this one. So we are still up. Unfortunately, that puts our win rate down into the 75% mark, but that's obviously because we only have like 13 trades there. But let's see how this was. We can take a re-entry if we want to, but you know, we tried it. It was my plan to a T. There was no real mistake here, I'd say, other than this fair value gap here. But we tried it, and it failed. Right, GJ looks like it's trying to push down to take out this liquidity now. The live stream journal file is in the free Discord, Bilk. So the link to this, I think it's actually also in the description of this stream. If you check the description, it might be there. If not, it'll be in the free Discord. There's a chat dedicated to it, just called Stream Journal. If you join the Discord, click that, you'll see it. You can use this as well. I think you might be able to download it and use it for yourself. I'm not too sure, but yeah, let's see it. Okay, we're coming to take this liquidity now on gold, on GJ, sorry. We've took that out. So what we want to look for now is this candle to close like this, you know, down here somewhere. Then we inverse the fair value gap, something like this, maybe just something like this. Then we take that entry on GJ. And it's near enough the same thing, but we'll just target this high instead. But it looks like we might be just melting straight down now. I think we can catch a nice buy though. Let's see how it goes out. We got 4 minutes left on this. It's not looking the best if we want to close around here, because we got 4 minutes left. But we've just took that liquidity out now, which means we do need to retrace back to IRL. which is internal range liquidity, which is an imbalance. Bitcoin not looking the best here. I'm gonna write off this setup. It's not really looking the most valid. If we do come down, we can look at taking it, but let's see what gold's saying. So gold's got, right, this is why I want to take a re-entry here, guys, because gold has, right, a fair value gap right here. If we inverse this, we can take that. And what would we do? So we would target, we can't just literally just target these highs right here, and there's nothing in between that. And that would be a great trade. So we're going to see how this candle closes. If we inverse this fair value gap, we'd look at taking buys again, just re-entering that same trade idea. We could even just put our TP up here and manage here. I'll probably take partials there. So looking like a nice 3-hour trade here. If we do inverse this fair value gap, no worries, that's great. So let's see how this goes, guys. This is probably the best setup we've got at the moment. Another re-entry on gold. I think my net gain for today as well, let's have a look. So I made just under 1%, about $400, and lost 155. So that leaves us with like 250 gain, something like that. So we are 0.5% up this week so far. That, honestly, that's pretty good considering last year I made nothing in December. Like, I didn't lose or make anything in December. I didn't trade it. You know, it's better than last year, but I do not like trading December, guys. Very messy price action. Confluences for this trade, okay? I'm going to walk you through that right now. It's the same ones as last time, really, but if we inverse this fair value gap, it's an added one. Now, the confluences will be the fact that we took out this low over here. We need to retrace back to IRL. That's what we've done. That's what we want to do on the 4-hour, okay? So we took out a 4-hour low right here. We're looking to retrace back to IRL, which is this imbalance right here. From there, we'll either continue the trend and reverse, or completely reverse and break the trend, change the character. So that's what we're looking for. That's why I want to take that trade on gold. We're going to put that back in. Now on the 1-hour, it's near enough the exact same thing. We took this low. We're looking to retrace back to IRL, which is the nearest one is literally like right here. And the 5-minute, if we have an IFVG here, this is the way it works. We take out a high, we inverse this, we've then formed one right here, reverse this, and we'll look to come out and take this high here. So that's confluence, that's the basic confluence, that's the entry confluence, I guess you could call it, it's the entry. And we'd look to target this one, and I'll probably close partials here, like maybe like half the trade here, and then look to hold till full TP. But the confluences for this trade is 4-hour ARL to IRL, 1-hour ARL to IRL, the bullish bias on gold on the daily time frame, because we haven't officially closed outside the range yet. Until we do that, we are bullish still, and basically the 5-minute IFG once we form that. On GJ, if you want to place your stop loss anywhere, where would it go? That's why I kind of wait for price to basically form the low, and then just place it a little bit below it. But I'd probably place it below here. If you're going to place it anywhere, it's got to be over here. But then, you know, if you look at that, you'd have to have your TP all the way up here to have like a reasonable risk to reward ratio. So it's not really worth taking yet. I just wait for price to form a bit more structure. If you are going to take the trade right now, just wait for it to form a bit more structure. We have got 4 minutes left. We got a gap here. We got 4 minutes left on this. If we can close around about here on the on GJ, on the 5-minute time frame, sorry, then we will look for the next candle to inverse this very, very quickly, and then we can take a buy position, you know, depending on where we close around about here. And we'd look to target this high over here, really. Now, we'd manage here. I'd probably move to break even there. Manage here as well. And look to take that high out up here. Bitcoin looks like it's reversed. That's been, what, like 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. If we close here, we can look at taking that trade. But the only issue is our stop loss will be miles away, unless we kind of pause in between that and the move down to break the imbalance. On gold, we have respected that imbalance. We may come and take the low out first. Let's see how this plays out. I think this is probably one of the best setups we've got at the moment. Here we go. Risking another 0.5% on this trade if it does close above the fair value gap, guys. As always, that's pretty much the rule for December this year. Last year I didn't trade it, the year before I didn't trade it, and the year before that I didn't trade it either. This is my first time doing streams and teaching people. Well, my first year, sorry. Not my first time. My first year. So I wasn't too sure how to handle December. I came to the conclusion that we should just kind of do first 3 weeks of December streams, and then that's it until when I'd usually come back to the markets, which is the end of the 3rd week of January. Or the start of the 3rd week, sorry. Let's see how this closes. We've got 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the 5. If we inverse this, we're going to take buys and target the highs. Right, let's see this, right? So, on gold, right? If we're going to take this trade, it's going to be stop loss just below this low, which is 2364. Sorry, 2634.3. And TP will be 2647, same as last time. Risking 0.5%. Let's see how this goes. I think Bitcoin is pushing right down now. See, this is good, but it's kind of bad as well because, like, if we took the entry here, you know, the entry would make sense, but the stop loss placement wouldn't really. Like, we'd have to put it all the way up here with stops right here, and we're not going to go for a 7R, like a 0.7, not a 7R, a 0.7R. Okay, so GJ has completely invalidated that imbalance, so we just have to delete that now, delete the idea of that trade for the moment. So gold is our best bet at the moment, guys. Another 0.5%. Let's see if we can do this. If we don't push up too high before the close. I think, you know, I don't really want to take the trade all the way up here. I'd want to take it around here, somewhere like that. Let's see if we can kind of pause a little bit now. If we do take the trade around about here, we will get about 1% back, just under, which would be nice. Let's see how this goes. We've got 40 seconds left. It looks like we are going to close outside the range. Come on, give us a bit better of an entry if we can just retrace a little bit now. We're going to wait for a retracement or the close. Right. Got in a little bit early there. What was my entry? Two six three nine. That's what it literally was, around about here. 9 7. So I was like right here, near enough. Which is good. Okay, we're gonna adjust stops when we take out this first high. Hopefully this is the move now. So round 2, let's see how this goes. Come on, gold. What's Bitcoin saying? So Bitcoin is pushing through that imbalance. I would take this, but the R is too low here, regardless of where we close, because the stop loss is way too high. And now gold decides to reverse. That's perfect timing. I do trust this setup, though. I do think we can get the move. It's just an issue of when we will get the move. You know, we got that 4-hour ERL to IRL play that's got to play out at some point. We got that bullish bias on gold. We'll see how that plays out now. Hopefully we can beat it this time. Another 0.5% on this. In terms of an exit, what we could see is, you know, if this validates the fair value up, we could wait for the same thing that happened last time with the IFVG form. Let's see what the 1 minute's saying. Let's see how this goes then. I do trust this setup. I do think we will get a nice play out of this. Let's see how it goes. There you are. Bitcoin just pushed straight down off that. I didn't take the entry because the R was a little bit low. Like, I think if we just put that there, it's about 0.7, 0.8 really, if you want to be a bit greedy, which isn't the highest. So GJ pushing up off of that liquidity, as you can see. It took the low and now we've reversed. Bitcoin pushing. We're going to just put our focus on gold at the moment. Not looking the best at all again. This is why I hate trading December, but, you know, we're doing it. 0.5%. See how it goes. Right. It is good though if we don't push all the way down, obviously, but more importantly, it's good because we will have that fair value gap there as like a safety net, similar to what happened over here. Now we could have just held on to this and been perfectly fine, but we did get a slightly better entry here. Doesn't really make up for the loss that we had though. What is the 1 minute structure like? Alright, we're looking to inverse this then as quickly as possible. If we're going to continue this move. Come on, gold. Here we are, come on. That's a 15 with no bottom wick there, guys. Although it goes against the trade, I want to show you it. See how we don't have a bottom wick on the 15? This one right here. Very high chance that we will form that. Just do this. Boom. There we go, see. That's annoying. But we do have the valid 5 minute now. So if we inverse that, then that's us out the trade. My country name. I am from England. Come on, gold. really hurt my wrist. Right, so once we take this high out right here, I'm going to move my stop loss to just below that imbalance. Right, I'm going to do that now. So now my stop loss is literally just below this imbalance right here, which is now 2637. It's not that hard. I think when you're a complete beginner, yeah, definitely. But, you know, if you learn properly, it's not that hard. I think with ICT himself, learning off of him, it's probably easier to learn off of other people than him, because the way ICT works is if you've watched his mentorships, there you are, that's the high tuck, then you'll know that it's just like 40-minute videos, like 20 to 40-minute videos of him just talking at you. It's very hard to get your head around, but once you do, it's very easy, but it's very hard to get your head around. What's easier is watching someone who's learned from him and taking what they say, because in my opinion, ICT is a rubbish mentor. The concepts he teaches are brilliant. I'm using them right now, but him as a teacher, not really the best. Now, that's what can make it hard when you have a crap teacher. But when someone's teaching you it properly and you're learning it properly, you know, you learn one tool, master that, move on to the next one, master that, and so on and so forth. It makes it a lot easier to understand. Like, if I just thrown all this at you, I'm just like, to trade like me, all you need is liquidity, IFEGs, and bias. Okay, go and find them. That would make no sense. But if I was like, this is what liquidity is, you know, then you spend a few days looking at just how price reacts to liquidity. Then I go, here's a fair value gap. This is how they work. Blah 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 blah. Then you spend a few days looking at that. You then combine those two things together, and you have a base for your strategy, which is liquidity and fair value gaps. Then I go, how about instead of trading fair value gaps, you trade IFEGs? Then you add that in. Then you've got a new base, which is the fair value gaps, IFEGs, and liquidity. And then I go, to master this and to trade it properly, you need AMD, or power of 3, which is an accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Here's how that works. You add that in to your base, and then you start to have a little bit more of a strategy now. Then you add a few other bits and pieces here and there. You know, you adjust things as time goes on, because things do obviously change a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty easy. You just got to learn it properly. You got to add these tools in systematically and strategically, and you will learn it very, very easily, very quickly. But yeah, it all depends on the mentor, I'd say. Gaddafi. Right then, guys. Yeah, true. He teach everything in 1 hour video, but he made 500 hours videos with 95% blah blah blah. Yeah, that's true. And the way he teaches as well isn't the best. I think you need to stay engaged. You know, you don't just stare at like a power. Like, not gonna lie, in my course at the moment, it's just PowerPoints, and I'm trying to change that, because I noticed that with ITT, like, it's literally just PowerPoints, kind of, with a few chart examples. So I'm trying to change that for my course, but I think it needs to be engaging as well. If you're gonna rant on for hours and hours, it needs to be engaging. You can't just like sit there with full focus, watching all of his mentorships. It's very, very hard. Right. You see how that formed with no bottom wick there, guys? And we've just came down to make that now. That's OHLC. That's how it works. But we are, you know, we're risking what, like a 0.25% now, I guess. Where was the original stop loss? Does it say? Yeah, right, okay. 554 was my original TP, and now we're at like 245. So if we lose this trade, we've lost 0.5%. We're still up for the day, so it's not the end of the world. But obviously, I think this setup can play out. We just need to push up above this high right now. Give us a few imbalances before we retrace here. Let's see what the 15 structure is saying. Near enough the same thing as the 5. The 30-minute is just absolutely barcoding, but I don't really use that one. Now the hour is looking nice here. If the hour can hold this, we've got a nice candlestick pattern, taking out this liquidity after accumulating down, which means we should have a nice manipulation, nice distribution to the upside here. Let's see how this goes. No, not really. That doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I guess you could use, like, you know, like the 4-hour indicator. Let's see if we have that on here. No, power free. Here we go. I think this might be it. Is this it? Right. Yes. There we go. So you can see here that the candle has, it tells you exactly what you need to know. It tells you everything here, but I don't really trade that because I trade more of a systematic AMD, which is like an accumulation, a manipulation, and distribution. I don't really focus on the higher time frame. In my opinion, it doesn't really make sense. Like the OHLC and all that makes sense to me. But the way I see it, like, you're gonna trade, like, you can trade a 5-minute AMD whilst looking at a 4-hour candle, or just trade a 5-minute AMD without looking at a 4-hour candle, and it works exactly the same way, in my opinion. So there's no real point in doing it. It just kind of adds, you know, an extra tool to it. And when people show you, like, when on videos on TikToks or whatever, when people show you this, it looks engaging and it attracts a lot of people because it's an indicator, but it's not really an indicator like how they think. Like, okay, it tells you the candle, but it's not like an RSI, it's not a moving average, it's not like that kind of indicator that tells you exactly when to buy and when to sell. You still got to do your own analysis. So I don't really see the point in it, to be honest with you. I think it's just a flashy way to sell power free or to sell AMD. You don't really need to have a 4-hour candle right here telling you what to look for. You know, you use sessions and stuff like that for it. Looks like we bounced off that now. I don't know what we bounced off of. We bounced off of it, sorry. There you are, the 1 minute imbalance here. We've got that IFVG on the 1 minute as well. See how that plays out? We take the low, form a fair value gap to take the low, form an IFVG, and now we should technically come up and take the high now on the 1 minute time frame. As I said, I'm risking 0.5% total on this trade. I've now moved from 554 pips to 225, I think it is, 245 pips. So we're risking about 0.5% on a 0.25% on this trade. If we lose this, which I don't think we will, then we will have lost 0.5% and be up for the day still. So we do secure that green day, I guess you could call it. Worst case scenario, but I do want to look at taking this to full TP up here. It's due, you know what I mean? We've got a gap there on the 1 minute. Look how this forms, right? Okay, 1 minute, no top wick, and a gap between the open and the close right here. So this is high probability just going to flip now and then head up. We also have that 1 minute fair value gap as well. But we're very, very likely to come back to this in this candle because of the lack of the top wick, or in the future candle because of the gap here as well. So it's very, very likely that we're going to flip on this candle now. Nope. Okay. I rushed to show you that because I thought it was going to do it very, very quickly, but it looks like it may have just decided not to on this candle. Okay. Tried to at the very end. The 1 minute open there. See the new candle on the 1 minute? No top wick, so we're very likely to come up and make that. That's simple OHLC or low LHC here in this case, because we open, make the low, flip, make the high, and close. Plus we have that gap in between. So I think this is all just maybe just a liquidity grab right here. If we take out that low there, you know, the probability we're going to flip on this is very, very high. After this minute's played out, I'm going to go check GJ and Bitcoin, see how they're going on. I think Bitcoin's completely melted down. There we are, see? We completely flipped there. We might flip back around now, but if we get a move down after this, that's more sustainable because now we don't have that low and we have the bottom wick and the top wick on this candle, but very, very indecisive here. Okay, so that's played out. We're going to go check GJ right now. See what's going on GJ. GJ took that high I was talking about. I wanted to take this entry, but we didn't get that IFVG form. Would have been a nice AMD IFVG. 5 minute on Bitcoin, absolutely melted. Took out this low over here. Looks like we're coming back to that now after taking out this high, as you can see. We came out, took that high, and it's simple ERL to IRL concept. Like we take ERL, which is this high over here. Then from ERL, we go to IRL, which is an internal range liquidity, which is near enough always just the fair value gap, which is this right here. So we take the high out, we're coming back to this. We're either going to respect it and continue the trend up, which is probably likely considering we're looking at Bitcoin here, or we will inverse it and then head down, take out this low here, and then we could do the same thing. We either reverse off of that and head up, or, you know, how it goes. There we go. Right, gold, what you telling me? Gold's really pushing down here. We're probably just going to come out and take that up at one point. Now expect the fourth test. It's already third test, sorry. Because one, we took out this high here. So we come back to IRL. Two, we haven't come into the discount zone of this bullish fair value gap. The best place to look, like this is basic stuff, like the best place to look for buys is in the discount zone. The best place to look for sales is in the premium zone. So when we have a fair value gap, you split it into two things: the premium, which is the top half, and the discount, which is the bottom half. When you're looking at a bullish fair value gap, you do that. When you're looking at a bearish fair value gap, you do this. You come into the top half and then go down. Pretend that's like the premium zone here. You come into the top half and then verse down. We haven't, using that concept, we haven't actually come into the discount zone on this imbalance here. So I do think we'll come and take that at some point. Not only that, we also have the fact we just took out a high. We need to retrace back to IRL, which is the closest one, which is right here. Just giving us that bearish bias. Alright, unfortunately that's a half-hour candle there with no bottom wick. Very highly likely to flip here. There we go. Finish the sentence. And then it happened. I spoke it into reality. At least we got that bottom wick now. A little bit more of a sustainable move. TP on. 2647.866. Get rid of all this now. Once we take this high here, that was not straight at all. Once we take this high here, I think I'm going to move to break even, guys. I would say this low here doesn't really make sense, though. I would say this low here. I want to play a bit safe. If we close up here, think about how that would have to play out. We close all the way up here and then reverse straight back down. Think about that for a second. So if we come up and take this, I'm going to move to break even. Come on. See? That's what I wanted to avoid. Something like this, where we just flip back down. Let's see how this goes, though. Let's see what the 1 minute structure is saying. We've got that fair value gap right here on the 1 minute. Looking to respect that and then just flip and go straight back up. Simple ERL and IRL as well, guys. Like, see how it goes. So we have this high right here, if you can see that on the 1 minute. We take that, leave behind a bullish imbalance. We then come down, retest the imbalance, and looks like we're respecting it. If we do respect it, we come up and take out this high. If we disrespect it, we come out and take out this low. I think I'm just going to go break even now, guys. See how this goes. You can see how horrible this price action is, can't you? Like, I don't even need to say much, but just look at this. Like, let me zoom out on the 1 minute. Look at that. Like, we had a nice move up, nice retracement, kind of very sloppy, speed bumps. We formed that IFVG. This is, I guess this right here is probably the perfect price action or structure you need for an IFVG setup. You have those speed bumps, then you come down, make the IFVG, push straight up. The only issue is we had this massive consolidation on the 1 minute right here, but you know, now we're coming up again. We're just kind of consolidating here after taking out the high. Not the best sign at all. So I'm break even on this trade now. This is why I don't like December. The price action is so horrific. Bitcoin's gone completely red. It was up 2% before. Now it's down 0.34%. This is horrific price action. Yep. Hello, Jeff. So we just took that liquidity there. You know, this is exactly what I'm saying, guys. Like, this is what I'm trying to catch, basically, the 5-minute or 15-minute move of this. That's probably me took out now. But, yep, there we go. You can see we came up, take the high, form a bullish fair value gap, inverse it, then take the low. That's what I'm trying to catch on the higher time frame here, but it looks like that's me out. Well, it is me out the trade. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I lost $1.50 here. So that's that. We tried again. We'll journal it as well, I guess. Horrific price action. Don't really need to put much in here, right? Same day again. Gold, bullish by about the same. I think it was 1.6 this time though. We got BE on this. Very, very, you can see this. Now we're deep into December. You can see how rough this price action is. What was it? IFEG. Same scenario, really. Closed BE. So we're up for today. We are on a green day, I guess, but you know, it's not really the best. Get rid of all this analysis now. Just keep the charts a little bit cleaner. Actually, we'll keep both of those. Keep this one. Right. Okay. So, yeah, very, very messy price action. You can see if we just zoom out, very, very messy. I do think that could play out still eventually, but it's December. It's just a mess. It's a ball ache. It's very hard to maneuver this month. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that. We've had a very good first week coming into December, but then as the weeks have gone by, last week was a little bit rough. This week is starting off already rough. We had one winning trade today, one losing trade slightly, and then one break-even trade. All three of those things. The reason I haven't put it in the live stream journal is just simply because, you know, it's a live stream journal. I didn't take it live. I took it with the team. But, yeah, you know, bit of a ball ache month. This is why I'm ending the streams and the trading at the 20th of December. Just to stay away from all this messy price action. Now, going to see how this plays out. I do think it might still play out if price wants to behave. But yeah, other than that, that's me done for the day, guys. Unfortunately, we've had a pretty rough day. It's December. I'm sure you all know why that's happened. Usually it's not this bad. Now, that's me done. Make sure you look out for the market outlook tonight. Same time as always, about 9 PM GMT. Make sure you join tomorrow's stream. I'm live every single day. Like the stream if you've learned something new. And yeah, other than that, join the free Discord. Check out Fast Track Trading if you want to learn exactly how I trade. But that's me done, guys. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. And yeah, it was a rough day. We'll come back tomorrow.